the safest transportation options at the Cancun airport? Notice I did not say the most affordable. I want to know what the safest ones are. If you follow me, you know I always recommend private transportation. And yes, it costs the most of any transportation options. But later in this video, I'm going to tell you a story of a subscriber that reached out to me, and it just reiterates why you should get private transportation. So there are a ton of reputable companies out there. I use Nacho Tours. He's a friend of mine. And actually I have a Facebook group as well. And there I have a document where I have compiled a list of all of the recommended private transportation companies from my members. A lot of people ask me about taxis. Do not take taxis at the Cancun airport. I can't stress this enough. I've done so many videos about it. You can go back and watch. There's just too many scams that can happen. And I'm going to tell you about one again in a minute. Taking a taxi from the resort to, let's say you want to go to Playa del Carmen or to the ferry station, shopping or something like that in general is safe as long as the resort calls the taxi. But I would not do it from the Cancun airport. Okay, what about renting a car? This is another thing I personally would not do. And whenever I do post videos like this, I get a lot of comments of people saying, well, I rented a car without an issue. And then you'll see a lot of other comments where people were scammed, they were extorted for money. And again, this post is about the safest options of transportation. So for me, I'm just not going to take any risks. And people will ask me, well, then how do they explore around Cancun? And the safest way to do this is really through organized excursion companies, and they provide the transportation. Let's talk about Uber at the Cancun airport. So they used to not be allowed at the airport. Now, apparently I've heard that they are, but I still would not use Uber. There is a huge rift between the taxis and the Uber, and sometimes tourists get caught up in the middle of it. Talk about the ADO bus, which is the most affordable. In general, I think it is safe, but there are definitely issues where you can get things stolen, and actually happened to one of my followers. He arrived after midnight at the Cancun airport, which is something I personally would never do. A lot of issues happen when people arrive really late at night or in the middle of the night, and taxi drivers couldn't take him, so he had to get on the bus, and he didn't have to put his luggage underneath, which is something, again, I would never do, but he put it on him and still had things stolen from him. I know there's thousands of people that have taken these other modes of transportation with no issues. You know, they've rented a car or Ubered or taxied, but I'm a traveler that likes to mitigate risks. Always played on the safe side. So in my opinion, the private transportation is the way to go.